Qualcomm stock price is having a volatile year. After starting at under $150 per share and rising to close to $225 per share, Qualcomm stock price has dipped to $167 per share as of this recording. So, what's going on with Qualcomm? Why is the stock price so volatile? Let's take a look inside the business to try and answer the question of what's going on with Qualcomm stock.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So, in its latest quarter, which was its fiscal third quarter, Qualcomm delivered non-GAAP revenue of $9.4 billion and earnings per share of $2.33. That was above the midpoint of their guidance, so a little bit better than what management was expecting in the latest quarter. In Automotive, they secured more than 10 new design wins with global automakers during the quarter, which included next-generation digital cockpits, connectivity and/or ADAS and autonomy. This is assisted driving assistance, and it doesn't need to be driverless car technology. It could be parking assist, it could be adaptive cruise control, etc. Qualcomm is making great inroads in the automotive sector. The company's automotive segment grew over 80% in the latest quarter. That's driving incremental revenue growth for a company that was thought to have ended its growth prospects. Qualcomm was operating in mature industries, mostly in handsets and smartphones, which is not a growing market. So, with this new market in automotive, it's driving incremental revenue growth for Qualcomm, which is increasing excitement from Qualcomm stock investors. Management said that they are uniquely positioned to enable sensor data to be utilized simultaneously for autonomy workloads in user-centric generative AI experiences in the digital cockpit. And that's been the trend inside vehicles, whether or not it's an electric vehicle or an internal combustion engine vehicle. All vehicles, all manufactured vehicles are embracing technology and enhancing the amount of computing technology inside. And so that greater computing technology is great news for Qualcomm, and it's gaining share inside automotive segments, and that's driving that growth that I mentioned earlier of over 80%. Now, in its primary market, which is handsets, they're pleased that all Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Flip 6 phones are powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy, which deliver extraordinary AI capabilities. To that end, they're pleased with the growth and trajectory of AI use cases on smartphones, and this continued expansion of AI features is a precursor to next-generation smartphones, which we believe will become AI-centric, with pervasive on-device AI working across applications in the cloud. In other words, smartphones are getting embedded with increasing AI technology. They're becoming more capable. We're getting advancements. And finally, right, it's been several years where smartphones, the greatest innovation has been a better camera and better battery life. That's been pretty much what we've been getting with most smartphone upgrades in the last 5-6 years, is just better cameras and better battery life. Better camera, better battery life. Seemingly every manufacturer that announces a new phone, that's been the upgrades they've provided because that's the innovation that was available. Finally, we're getting some more innovation with artificial intelligence, and smartphones are going to be capable of much, much more than they have been. And that could create a replacement cycle for people that have had smartphones that they purchased in 2019, 2020, 2021, maybe even 2022, that really start to encourage them to upgrade and go to the newer smartphones. Now, one thing that's already happening is these AI capabilities are driving more market share to the premium segment of smartphones. So people are buying, they're not buying more smartphones. The overall smartphone market is relatively flat. But what's happening is the change in market dynamics where a greater share of smartphones, a greater share of smartphone buyers are moving up to more premium tier. So you're getting people that are now more interested in buying higher quality smartphones. And this is worldwide. I'm not just talking about the United States market here. So that's good news for Qualcomm. That's good news for the smartphone industry, because even though total unit sales will be relatively flat, you'll get more spending because the average selling price of each smartphone will be higher. So in October, Qualcomm will release details of their next generation Snapdragon 8 flagship mobile platform, which will be the first that will be powered by their custom Orion CPU. And together with their NPU, the neural processing unit, it's already exceeding both theirs and their customer expectations. So Qualcomm, even though the overall unit volume, like I mentioned, is not increasing, Qualcomm's position in the industry is improving because of these innovations. And then moving on to personal computers, which had been a relatively non-existent market for Qualcomm, but now they've got some Copilot PCs that are exclusive, that they're powered exclusively by the Snapdragon X series platforms, and they became available for purchase on June 18th. So in the next quarter, when Qualcomm reports earnings for their results starting with June, they will update investors on how these PC sales are doing. So there's 20 Copilot PCs from Microsoft, Dell, HP, Lenovo, Acer, Asus, Samsung, the biggest manufacturers of personal computers. They're now available across 20 countries and 47 retailers. So already the initial results have been that Qualcomm is gaining share in this market, and they're expanding the number of computers that have this technology inside. And this is great timing for Qualcomm, because remember in 2020 and 2021, when people were locked down and they had to work from home, that drove a surge in personal computer sales. And those personal computers will need to be upgraded sometime in the next year to two. And so Qualcomm is entering this market with this innovation at the perfect time. The timing has been great. And so they're already working with OEMs on the next wave of Copilot PCs. So in addition to the new design wins, their X series product roadmap would expand to address PCs with retail prices below $700 without compromising the performance. And they're forecasting that at least 50% of personal computers will be AI capable by 2027, and they expect to be positioned as one of the top silicon suppliers for these devices. So Qualcomm, over the next couple of years, given those markets that we talked about, they're expanding their business outside of handsets. Handsets and smartphones was the vast majority of Qualcomm's business, and they're now expanding outside of that. Now, it's still early days, and it's still early to lock in these gains, but it's certainly great news for Qualcomm stock investors. You can understand some of the momentum earlier in the year in Qualcomm's stock price. If you liked the video you just saw and you want to see more just like it, please subscribe to the channel. I can't keep this channel free without the support of viewers like you. And if you're already subscribed, thank you, and I appreciate your support.